Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the same situation that once you started missing your classes, it could be your university classes, could be your college classes, or any course classes. Once you start missing it, there's no going back. Why do I say it? You might be thinking that if I just miss one class, what's going to happen? Let me tell you something from someone who has been in university in Canada for like 4 years. I have missed like lots of classes, uncountable number of classes. You know what's one thing I can tell you? One thing for the matter of fact, for sure I can tell you, once you start missing classes, there's no going back. Because our mind thinks that there are two situations. Our mind thinks two ways. So the first way is, you know what our mind thinks? That if I miss this class, when you go for the next class, when you go in the next class, if you haven't covered your syllabus or if you haven't covered the course module up till what the professor is about to teach, you would not understand. And you know what's gonna happen if you don't understand? You're not gonna pay attention in the next class that you went, and guess what? You won't be coming the class afterward. So this is how the spiral begins. That's what I call downward spiral. You know how they say about upward spiral? That if you have good connections, if you have good network, if you talk to good people, your average of 5 people that you spend your time with, right? That's what you call like upward spiral. That's the exact same thing that happens with downward spiral too. What do you think is downward spiral? If I ask you this, I'm going to give you 2 seconds. Think of what could be a downward spiral. I'm going to tell you this. Downward spiral is the spiral that happens when you stop listening to your own mind, when you stop being punctual, when you stop completing the tasks that you gave yourself that you're gonna do today or this month or this year, when you indulge with bad company, that's when downward spiral starts. It happens in the start, and in the start, it feels like you're in control. That's the exact same thing that happens with any addiction. It could be any addiction. It could be, freaking any addiction. It could be porn addiction. It could be like any freaking thing that you shouldn't eat. You know what I'm talking about, right? In the starting, you always feels like that you're in control. But let me tell you something. The second time, your control, your grip a little bit loses. The third time, it loses a little more. The fourth time, it loses a lot more. And the fifth time, you don't even have anything in your hand. That's how downward spiral starts. And let me tell you something that applies exactly in university and university classes too. Once you start missing classes, firstly, you'll lose the touch with professors. The professors who were once seeing you every day in the classes, the students, your friends who were once seeing you every day in the classes, and you yourself who was once focused to every word the professor used to say, once you miss class, you wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't be the same you. You wouldn't. Your professor's gonna miss you. Your friends gonna miss you. Your classmates, your university mates, everyone is gonna miss you. And you know what's gonna happen? You're not gonna go to the third class. I can promise you that. From my freaking experience, from all the people that I've talked to, this is the same freaking thing that happens. And that's how the downward spiral actually starts. You might be thinking that I only missed one class. It's okay, I can cover it. I can study on my own. Yeah, it's okay. Professor's gonna give you the slideshow anyway. The professor is gonna give you the PowerPoint anyway. Yeah, I can do it on my own. So why do you even come to classes? Why did you even come to the class on the first day? That's my question. You could have studied on the first day too. Why did you study? Attendance is not mandatory, in some courses at least. So why did you come in the first class? What was the answer to that? You will give any excuse, your brain, your mind will give any excuse to get out of that accountability. That yes, I have started missing classes. And yes, I am starting to be indulged in this downward spiral. But let me tell you something. You watching this video, you clicked on this video, you still, let me tell you something, are feeling accountable. You still are feeling bad, which is a good thing because you should feel bad. And once that downward spiral starts, and you're watching this video, if you apply all the steps that I tell you, you will be starting your upward spiral from that downward spiral. You right now are not in that downward spiral, but you would be if you skip this video and if you skip your next class. Let me tell you something. Once you start missing classes, there's no going back. And trust me on that. I don't want you to end up like all of the people that I know who started missing classes. They also thought the same, that I'm in control. They also had the same excuses, maybe better than you. Yeah, that's for sure. They could be having better excuses than you, but you know what happened? They failed the course. And that's when they get it. That once I started missing classes, I almost forgot about the course. And that's the exact moment when my downward spiral started. Then they regret it. But guess what? Now they failed the course. Now they have to invest their time, their energy, their money again for 4 months, for one semester again, for the same freaking course that they could have done if they just knew what not to do. This is very important. You should always know that what to do, but what's more important, what not to do. If I give you a gym example, if you know what exercises to do and how to do all the exercises, you will be making muscle growth. But guess what? If you took one wrong step, it could lead to an injury, and that's gonna take you away from gym for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's no. So the most important thing, of course, it's important to know like what to know, but the most important is what not to know, and you have to know that. And how do you know that? By talking to people or by getting to know each other's experience. If you haven't talked to anyone, let me tell you something from my experience. Once you start missing classes, there's no going back. Don't be one of those people who end up in that downward spiral. And if you do, you will come here on the same exact video. You will listen to me again, and you will remember all the things that I was saying 4 months ago. Once you start missing classes, there's no going back. See you in the next one. Take it easy.